Hi, this is Luke from Inside Chaos, and today we're going to take a look at unboxing the big box of Terraforming Mars. I'm a little bit late to the party because I think life just got in the way, and I was more excited about Ankh than I was about Terraforming Mars since they both came about the same time. One of the things you'll notice that on my particular version of the big box of Terraforming Mars is I got the sticker here. So if you've got yours in a shrink wrap, they got these different labels to tell you what's inside the content. So if you don't have the 3, then chances are you just got a standard version of Terraforming Mars. Now, before I get into this, I'm sure you've seen this a lot before, but this is all my metal cubes, which are all nicely individually wrapped. So I'm not going to show you me unbagging each one of these, but I guess for the sake of this video, because I will compare it to a normal cube. So this is one of the normal ones. Let's see. So you can see this one is shinier because this is essentially a kind of like a foil, I don't know, overlay. I don't know what you call it, printing on it. And this here is the metallic version, and obviously it's a little bit heftier. So in case you're wondering what you're getting, size wise they're pretty much about the same. I don't think there's anything really different. So that's the gold. Let's take a look at one of the other ones. This one here is the silver. And just for expedience, I will also take the copper one out too. Yeah, so what I suspect had happened is when they first ordered the production, they kind of got everything in one bag. And so one of the comments, in this case, I think it's quite apt to say Chinese whispers, saying that they want the cube in separate bags. Obviously what they meant is they want it like these. So you got clearly 3 bags with the individual colors, and somehow that got translated to a bag per cube. So highly amusing. This is the metal version. This one here is the original cube. This is the metal. This is the original copper cube, and this is the metallic version. So in terms of cubes, depend on your own personal taste. Put the gold one back here. I guess the foil one or the non-metallic one seems to be quite a bit shinier, but obviously over time that will probably start either fading or the foil will start chipping away. The color of the metallic is more muted, but is, I guess, made of metal, and so they can only give it that much color to them. But anyway, this one here's the cube. I thought it would be quite nice to just show you that. I'll just sort that out later and move this to the side. Oop. Right, and then the next thing I'll probably show is the dual layer board. So this is your standard board. You can see it is very thin, very flimsy and flexible. And this is your dual layer board. So let's see if you can see that properly. So you can see that there's a little bit of groove here, and that's where your cube will sit. So let's grab some cubes. Bag. and you just slot them in there to track what your cubes or what your resource levels would be. The idea is if you bump it, it shouldn't move that much. I think this one's moving a little bit. It shouldn't move that much, and the position will largely stay in place. Obviously, if I laid it flat on this board, it will just slide all over the place. So this is just so that if you accidentally bump your board, you will still be able to keep track of, I guess, where all your resources at. It's quite handy because this way you can just not have to worry about managing your board, because you're always reaching over your play area to place a tile on the board. So yeah, just thought it's quite neat. These dual layer boards, I do like them. The pictures is pretty clear. I think you can get one of those plastic overlays. I've seen some of them. Personally, I don't think I'm a huge fan of them. Because what you're really using is you're still using this kind of artwork, and if you take a look at the two, it's on the muted side compared to this dual layer board. So if anyone's thinking of pimping up their game for Terraforming Mars, I highly recommend these dual layer boards. Alright, move on. So I think that was all outside of this box I was going to show you, so let's make a crack at this. So, nothing on the back, just any content, so it keeps it very, very clean, and I do like the way that they've presented this box, so that's fairly neat. Right, knife, and let's make it start. So how would I do this? All right, have to be very careful because I think I actually cut into the box. Oh, I'm doing a terrible job of getting this plastic covering apart. So bear with me. Yeah, so this video is probably going to be quite different to the others, because I tend to explain a little bit more about the game, but this box here, or this unboxing, doesn't actually include the game. This is, I guess, the 3D version of Terraforming Mars. Alright, so this is really what we really backed. So again, let me compare what you get in the main game. So this here is a city tile. And this is what you're getting. So let's see. Let's take a look at the size. Oh, let's take it this way. The size is just pretty much the same size. So it'll fit any of your standard Terraforming Mars player board. But this time, you will have this. You'll put your cube here instead of smack dab in the middle. So it's nicely slotted in. Let me grab this red cube again. Which means even if you bump it, it's not going to move very far. Whereas on this one, there's potential to lose the cubes, as if you bump the board accidentally, or if you drop something on the board, these will all scatter. Let me put this aside. So again, the city. And if I look at, I believe there's two, actually three different type of cities. So to try to make it more varied. So obviously they don't have to make multiple versions, and I appreciate them making the effort of doing different city modules. No buildings. Just take a moment to appreciate the structure. Alright. So this here, the city. Well, not the city, because I also got the dome, so let me hunt for that. Try not to expose too many stuff. Alright, found it. Domes, they're a little bit on the, I guess, extra side. You don't really need these, obviously. But I don't know. I always imagine if Mars was ever terraformed or start to be terraformed, you'll need these kind of like domes to begin with. You see a lot of shows that shows, was it them colonizing space with dome cities? Stuff that brings to mind was what, Stargate Atlantis? Although technically I guess that's a ship. You'll have a lot of what was it, like anime style, I don't know, animes that will have moving cities. They're all essentially dome city, because that's the expectation of how civilization can survive in space. Well, especially while we wait to terraform it. So domes, they'll fit these cube nuts in here. Yeah, so as you can see, this is a close-up. You can still see all the details, but when it gets further away, the details get muted out a bit. And so, even though they're quite neat when they're quite close, I suspect that, oh, actually, maybe not. I was thinking, you can see all the details up close, but if you were to put it down, could you still tell that they were different? And I guess looking at this, I still can tell that all the cities are different. So that's pretty neat. So yeah, wasn't sure about the domes, but I do like the fact that I can still see more of the detail than I expected. Right. So forest tiles. So this is the forest. And this here is the cardboard equivalent. So it looks like the base itself is about the thickness of the cardboard. And then you've got that 3D component on top. So this one's also a little bit neat. You'll have, let's see if I can find these. They're the same. That one might all be the same. Okay, I'm pretty sure there's more, but you can see that there's more than one version of the forest. The only thing that's a little bit of a shame is, even though I do like the fact that this is different and there's this, but it's not 100% right when it's pointed this way, right? So I guess depending on if you are careful in your tile laying, then maybe you can modify this a little bit better. But yeah, so this here's the forest. And we will have our water tiles. Water tiles is essentially just the same width with very, very minimal texture to show the water. But I guess it's still better than just cardboard water tile. And you got these essentially special building tiles. You see that's pretty boring. And then we get to compare it with these. So this is my nuclear waste. Red mushroom cloud. You can spin this around, but yeah. And I think if I recall, I don't think this stacks in the box properly, but I'll have to double check. This one will be your restricted area. And if you're wondering what these were, you can tell because that's, well, this symbol is right in the middle where that cube should be. All right. The only well, that's the good thing about finding it, but then the problem is, would you remember what it does when you place it down? So that's something you'll have to get used to. So I think some of them will say, it's been a while since I played Terraforming Mars actually. Alright, so let me quickly pull this out. Put this one back inside. Alright, so I guess we can start with these special markers here. Where is it? I think this is it. Cool. So this is your temperature marker. I guess they decided to do a degrees Celsius. I think I probably would have preferred a thermometer, but that's fine. This one is for oxygen. So you can see it's an O2. Then you've got a generation marker. We've got the Venus marker, obviously for the Venus expansion. And finally, we have a dominance marker, which is essentially a fist, closed fist. Right. So let's see. This, I believe, is new. If I recall correctly, I can't remember now. I think this is new. This is the Great Dam. This one here is the, was it the Deimos down tile? So I guess something crashed. We've got the eco tile. So you can see there's a paw print where the cube should be. So you're gonna have to keep a track of this one because this also looks very similar to the forest tiles. But I guess you can tell the difference because there's a little stream running through it. Whereas the standard forest ones do not have any streams. Let's see, what else do we have? I think, what is this? This is the capital city. Huh. This is different than I was expecting. So, I believe this is the capital city. But they've made this one with some greenery. I wonder if I also have a dome for this as well. I'll have to double check that. Alright, then we have the industrial tile. See little industrial factories, and I'm assuming that's a silo. This is a mole hole. I think this is a mole hole tile. I have to double check that too. Right. And what is this? I believe there's 2 of these. Yep. So this here is your mining tile. So you can see that there's a mining pit over here. And you've got some kind of excavator, or whatever that's called. So I thought it was quite neat that they also gave you 2 different ones as opposed to just gave you the same, I guess, tile, so they didn't really cheap out on their production, which is good to see. Considering we paid quite a bit for this big box. Right, this is the what is this? I think this is the natural preserve tile. Oh, it's been a long time. I need to really go back and check these. Here is your volcano. And then what is this? This looks like it's a little bit bent. Might have to see if I can put this in hot water and straighten this up a bit. Or maybe I can just bend it. No, still on the lean. Right, I'll sort that out later. Ooh, let's just not break this. Right, this here is, I think, the magnetic field generator tile. Some of these are new. I'm not 100% sure what they will do now. And this is the commercial district tile. Right, and then so as you can see, there's some of these. The Kickstarter one has the 3 new tiles. I think this is the Great Dam. Great Dam. This one was the, what was this one? The Natural Preserve tile. And this was your magnetic field. So yeah, I have to work out how to do. You get to build a little stand for your cards. Side. Right, then you got these trays. Now, one of the neat thing is they put this essentially holes in the middle to be able to help you grab all the tiles out. There is 2 tiles, well, 2 trays, sorry, should I say. We'll look to stack these in afterwards later. And so I showed the domes already. I think there's 16 of these. I can't remember how many tiles are. Just double check that. This is the first player marker, just a rover. It's a little bit on the, I guess, excessive side, but yeah. I mean, I got everything else, so why not get the rover? And I believe this is for your colonies and ships. So I haven't actually played with the colony expansion yet, so not 100% sure what these will do. But I guess in the meantime, we will show them off. How does this one go? Yeah. Right. So one of the funny thing was, I knew that this was coming out on Kickstarter, but I've never actually played this game before. I heard quite a lot about it. And so one of the first thing I did was I popped over to one of my local game stores it was Cake and Ladders, and I found that they had a copy of Terraforming Mars. Pretty much hijack a friend along the way, made him come with me so I can play a game of Terraforming Mars, and then decide whether I was going to back this big box or not. So essentially I played one game of Terraforming Mars before I decided that I'm going to commit to this game. So, but I guess that shows what a lot of people knew already that I didn't know, is that this is actually a very good game. I liken this to a civ builder, but I guess it's not really a civilization. You're actually just a corporation trying to race with other corporations to see who can terraform Mars the best and get the most profit. Enough about that. Here is all your Kickstarter promo cards. So obviously some of these will be for the new tiles that we have. Yeah, I guess potatoes. This is, yeah, one of the problems with Terraforming Mars is some of the pictures they use is not the greatest. I think they should have really done their own artwork in a better manner. Yeah, I guess the most complaint that I keep hearing about Terraforming Mars is the component quality is not overly great, as you can see. Oh, so we got two more corporations. In case you're wondering what you're missing out on, or if you wish to, I guess, print these out. So here's your chance to, I guess, take a look at these. Pause if you wish. And there's the promo cards. Alright, you can go back here. You got some essentially dividers, and I'm assuming I'll have to double check what goes into this box actually. But this dividers will be for this big box here. And how do I get you out? This seems right. That's going to be problematic. Looks like I'm going to have to take this off all the time before I can get to this box, which I guess is fine. More trays. What would this be? Can't be tiles, so must be the coins probably. Each individual player component box. So you get to put all the cubes. Let's put that over here. So I guess this is where all the cards will go. Packed some already. You can see that there's quite a bit of space to the side. Not sure if you can see that properly. So sleeve cards should go in fine. Oh, a little bit of dust, but I have to clean that up from the foam. And then you just slide this in. Got these marker dividers to divide up essentially the different expansions. And then just close it. Yeah, it seems deeper than I was expecting. So you probably can't see this, but it's gone all the way there. I think that's because my cast must have fell over. But I'm sure they did the right thing and it would fit the cast to the right height. Right, and then we've got this last tray. I think this is mainly just for the expansions. From memory, this is where all the fleets go. This one, there's no icons on it, so you're gonna just either guess or make the best use of the space as you can. I think this is where your essentially the Turmoil and Venus expansions, one of these two probably, or maybe both. I think there's also some global event cards. So if I was to go back to this tray, where's my rover go? I'm pretty sure the rover sits in here. That's my first play marker. This should be the cubes, which I'm not sure why I have two. Maybe it's just to split it up and then for easy access by the players. And then obviously the individual ones, well, for individual players, which I do like. What else do we have? Not 100% sure what goes in here. I think we'll just maybe some of these market tokens, but it seems a lot of space. But I guess I'll work that out. But one of the neat thing they did is you notice that there's quite a bit of space. So if you excuse me for a moment. They essentially made space for the 5 dual layer boards. So they'll sit in here and they'll sit in there fairly flush. And you notice that there's still there's still a bit more gap, and that will be for, I believe it's the Venus and Turmoil boards. And then everything will just fit nicely in together. Oop. Can't recall. This must have gone into one of these. I'll have to work this out later. But I guess this will be it for my unboxing of Terraforming Mars. Alright. Thank you very much for watching. I know that this wasn't much, and I hope you have a great day. Cheers.